Hey fam, and welcome back to the Alchemical Oracle. So today, guys, we are going to be talking about spiritual tools, okay? We're talking about those crystals, those pendulums, all of those sigils, seals, rituals, etc. And today I'm going to tell you the truth about them. And let's go ahead and get into it, okay? Because why even waste your time? The point is that no spiritual tool is actually necessary.
What?
Yeah, none of those cleansing rituals are actually necessary, even though you do need to be doing them. But I'm going to tell you why they are significant and not necessarily why the tool itself is not to be overvalued. In the spiritual community, it tends to be a given point that people overemphasize the tool, the process of steps, the ritual. But what's more important is your intention. All of your tools are extensions of your intention, okay? And I don't know why, people want to be like, oh, this crystal right here. No, that crystal puts off a certain energy, an energy that possibly you currently can't embody. So you use that tool to embody a frequency that you currently are unable to embody. Therefore, using it to attune yourself to be able to embody that frequency in the moment. So you can use that to help enhance your confidence, right? Because if you don't have confidence, then you don't know how to maintain the frequency of confidence. When you're doing a spell and you're using certain crystals in a spell, every single aspect, tool, written material of that spell is all a projection, a manifestation of your willful intent, of which some of them you have yet to embody. That's why you're doing a damn spell, right? So you're doing the spell to be able to embody these things. And because you're able to embody these things, as you know, we're doing our due, okay? We doing our due, honey. We're able to bring about results that allow us to embody different energies, different reality states, different frequencies than we could before. Okay, see, look, we getting somewhere. Now let me talk about these spiritual tools that help you connect with your ancestors. Because this one right here,
This shit right here, nigga. This shit right here, nigga. Right here, this shit, nigga. This shit here, nigga.
this one right here, y'all, like, no cap. This one right here is useful than a motherfucker, but I need you to understand that you don't need those tools, right? These are tools to cultivate the ability. So when you're using, let's say, for example, a pendulum is using every single sixth sense that you have, from hearing to clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, claircognizance, and sometimes some clairgustance too, because it's just a yes or a no. But for you to discern as you're asking questions whether or not this is the answer of the question that you're asking, or if there's a little bit more to it, okay? You're gonna need to be able to feel that in your body, to notice the images and the extras that spirit is giving you within the vessel, right? When you're doing tarot, you learn the different meanings of the tarot cards, but eventually you stop reading the exact meaning of the card that you learned, and you start to feel, you start to be drawn into the imagery. You start to be drawn into certain things. And these are allowing you to cultivate the sense in here. And I'll tell y'all, because I read tarot for a very long time. Before I even came out, and I was like, I'm charging you, honey. I was just going into work. I was at school at lunch, okay? I was anywhere and everywhere, and I was like, look, bitch, the way your life is going, you need a reading, and I got my tarot deck. Let's whip out and let's talk about it. Like, no cap. I be on my lunch break doing readings for all my coworkers, like, no cap. Like, your girl was just wild with it. But I will say, a decade of reading tarot, I don't need that shit no more. And I think I had to graduate from reading tarot to actually using my crystal ball. Now, why? Because I had to learn that I don't need the visualization of the cards in order to speak what spirit has for me. Now, I've never been able to peer into a crystal ball and see something. There are some people who are damn sure talented with their clairvoyance. I am not one of them. But let me tell you what happens. When I hold on to my ball, it's like a magnification of my channel, and I'm able to align myself, wholly focus, just like a pure focused energy, and it's like nothing else exists, and I'm able to dial in and heighten the volume of my channeling. Now, I know through experience, I don't need that ball either. I don't need anything. I can literally channel off the dome. I do it all the time, okay? I do it all the time. There's nobody who can stop this shit right here, okay? And there's nobody that can stop your shit either. That's why when you talk to certain people, they be like, God damn, girl, how the fuck you even know that? You told me some shit that I just was like, what? But then 3 days later, I needed that information. That's because you channeled that motherfucker. You hear me? So when you're channeling, okay, let me get my stuff. I get too excited. But when you are channeling, when you are learning, coming into the spiritual community, there's a lot of spiritual consumerism. Okay. It's a lot of it, baby. It's a lot of spiritual consumerism. And what spirit wants you to understand, and what I'm trying to get you to understand right now, is that you don't need all them fucking tools. If you ain't got the bread, baby, you ain't got it. That's okay. Get what you can and work with that shit, because what matters is what's in here. Okay? Let me tell you a little something about yourself, okay? You got power in that blood. You feel me? We've all been taught, because of things that happened in the past, okay, oppressing and suppressing a motherfucker, that we have not been taught how to embody this energy. We've been taught to suppress it so that no one can see it and hurt us because we have it. But that time gone. Okay, it's gone. That's why you're here, because you like, I ain't dealing with that shit no more. And so welcome in, bitch. Now look, when you want to do something, you want to understand how to do it. So you're going through the process of a spell. You're going through the process of something in order to dial in your focus. Spells are for focus. For someone who is an incredible spellcaster, is an immaculate manifester. And they're so great at spellcasting or manifesting that they can do it for other people and influence their lives. The problem is that when people are teaching you, they're not teaching you the fullness of why you do certain things. So you're just going through the motions. You're doing the things as you think need to be done. But look, there's no perfect way to do a motherfucking thing. Maybe if you're doing ceremonial magic, but sometimes that shit don't even matter either. Because that's just a ritual to dial you into the frequency of the energy that you're trying to invoke. It's a lot of pageantry in magic. Whether you're doing folk magic or anything else, okay? It's a lot of pageantry in here. And so you need to understand that pageantry is unnecessary. But for the moment, these are the guardrails. Let me tell you something. When you were learning how to read, what did you have to do? You probably had to get you a little note card or a ruler or something to keep you reading whatever was right here above that line, right? To get you to be able to write a letter, you had to get them big ass 3 lines with little dots in the middle, right? And then you had to learn, okay, well, uppercase goes above the line, lowercase goes under the line, and there's a couple letters that's able to go above the line because they require a line, like K, H, L. Okay, you understand how to create the right letters in the right way. You understand uppercase and lowercase. Those are your guardrails. But in fact, You don't need none of that shit. That shit don't even matter. But it gets you from point A to point B. It gets you from not being able to write to being able to write, to being able to write capital letters, to being able to write lowercase letters, to being able to write on a college ruled paper, okay, with no extra lines to help you, smaller lines at that, to be able to write in a way where somebody can actually read that shit. Now, some of y'all got chicken scratch, and we ain't talking about you. We ain't talking about you. But if you got chicken scratch anyway, the whole point is that you learn how to write. And if you can read your writing, that's all that fucking matter anyway. So look, when you're doing magic, it's the same thing. When you're coming into doing occult work, it's just pageantry. And that pageantry allows you to scale what you're doing and why and how to magnify and condense your attention. And you have to learn. One of the biggest things you're going to learn when you are casting magic, when you are manifesting, which is magic, bitch. I don't know why people think that it's not. We all out here, no matter what we believe, out here doing magic every motherfucking day. Every time this mouth open, you casting a spell. So understand that what you're doing, what you're saying, who you're being, okay, is all a work. And when you're doing magic, these little things like doing a quick little candle spell for some money, okay, these little things like doing a quick little love attraction spell bring you a boo thing, okay, these little fucked up spells where you're trying to manipulate somebody's free will, and that shit turn around and backhand the motherfucking shit out of your ass through life. That right there, it's a lesson. It's a lesson to teach you how to use your power responsibly. It's a lesson to teach you how to embody, how to use your magic, how to focus your energy effectively. For some of you, you're having a hard time manifesting. If you feel stuck right now, that's the exact reason, because you are creating a spell through the way you walk through life that's inconsistent. It's inconsistent. Okay? It's inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? You waking up in the morning and you feeling alright, but you like, oh, I'm tired. I feel like shit. Well, you feel like shit? Well, okay, you gonna feel like shit all day? Aww. What shit feel like? It stank. It's smushy. It's gushy. Nobody want to be around it because the shit stink, right? So people gonna be treating you like, ugh, I don't want to be around you. What are you talking to me for? Ugh. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the intention you put into your day, and everything throughout your day is just gonna be shit. Okay? But if you wake up in the morning, you're like, I'm not feeling that great, but you know what? It's gonna get better today. I'm just shaking off the grogginess. I'm gonna get my ass up. I'm gonna be cute. I'm gonna go throughout my day and I'm gonna be doing my thing. And I know the angels got me. I know the spirit got me. So I ain't gotta worry about shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just do. Just go. Just be happy. Life fucking is like the wilderness out here. Like, y'all think because we live in a house, because we drive cars, because we have stuff, okay? You live in a house, you live in an apartment, you live in a shack, wherever you at. Because you got shelter, because you're civilized, you don't think we're in the wilderness? That's a finesse, okay? You're surrounded by animals all the time. Some of them you actually let in your house on purpose, okay? You out here being a mammal, birthing motherfuckers, and guess what? Just like we be out here watching National Geographic and they be getting in fights, it be the same way amongst humans, because we're still animals. And we're out here in the wilderness dealing with other people bullshit. And what I need you to understand is, when you stop basing your ideas, all this focus, your focus everywhere else, all over the fucking place, you don't need the tools. The tools become irrelevant. The way you live your life becomes a living prayer, a manifestation, a living spell. And everything else just assumes that the reality that you're living, the reality that you're creating, just is. It's done. It's there. It's being. You're walking right into it as you're prepared for it. But we sometimes still need those tools because we may not understand yet how to focus. We may not understand yet how to get our thoughts from here to reality. We may need these techniques. We may need these progressions. We may need these processes. We may need these rituals to help us go from negative to liberated, oppressed to liberated, from negative to positive, to shift into the polarities from no keys, broke, busted, disgusted, and stuck.
Oh no!
To all the keys, jingle, jingle, bitch, and you can walk through whatever door is meant for you at the time and get what you need through life. This is the truth of the matter, right? This is the way that you're going to go from point A to point B. But when you first get into this shit, you need those tools. They're like guardrails, right? I'll give you an example. And this is how Spirit taught me this. I was doing DMT for the first time, right?
What?
And so I was doing it on a little vape, okay, allegedly. and so they were like, breathe in and hold, and they were counting with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way to 30, right? And then they were like, release again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 30. Release. Okay, again. 1, 2, 3, 30. Again. And we just kept going through it. And I was like, I feel lightheaded. And they're like, breathe, Nick. And it's like, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, blah, 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 blah. And then eventually it's like, okay, at a point, there's a point, okay, where you don't need to count anymore. There's a point where you don't need to do any of that. You don't need to hold your breath. You good. You could just do it. You just know how. Sometimes the way you get to a knowledge, the way you get to something, is just the guardrail so that you can achieve it. Humans do it all the time because it works, okay? And that's why Christians have this saying that's like, it might be a black thing, you know what I'm saying? It might be a Baptist thing, y'all, because that's where I grew up. But they have this saying where it's like, you'll get your blessing on God's time. God is always on time and in time, but not necessarily on your time. Okay. And so what that means is when you're ready to receive a blessing, when you get into the right frequency, into the right energy, when you start being able to move with some discernment, baby, on that wisdom, you feel me? Being able to do your goddamn thing. Well, then you're there. You don't need all of that shit, right? You don't. When I first started doing magic, I was in the closet, okay? I don't need all of these candles. I don't need crystals. I don't need none of that shit to cast a motherfucking thing, because I was a closeted witch for over 7 years, and I couldn't, in the environment that I was in, cast a spell. So you know what I used to do? Come on in. Come closer. Closer. Let me tell you what I used to do. I used to. Just a little bit closer. Come on. A little bit closer. I used to sit down, meditate, go to my sacred space, and then I cast my spell in the astral realm. I'm gonna tell you, casting my spells in the astral are hella effective. They are so motherfucking effective. Now, let me tell you another secret. It is so much faster. just bear with me. It's so much faster to cast a spell in the real realm, okay? Because, like, if you have to be able to focus. Oh my God, there's so many goddamn notifications. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. It's just a lot of notifications coming to my phone right now. But as you are starting to understand how to manipulate energy, because that's what you're doing. All of this spiritual shit is teaching you how to manipulate energy. And when you're cleansing yourself with spiritual baths, when you're learning about energy manipulation, when you're going to a Reiki master, Reiki masters, healers are people who study the manipulation of energy. Doing a spiritual bath is you using physicality to manipulate your energy to be pristine, to release certain energies. You could do that on your own if you knew how, but you don't. Or maybe you do, but maybe it's not, the intent is not strong enough for certain types of energy. So you got to go get you a bath. You got to go do you a ritual, get your ass real focused. Sit in there and release. And that's cool. It's cool to do you, boo. It's cool to walk around and be covered in your spell work, okay? No, I was just saying, but I want you to understand that whatever you're putting value on right now that's preventing you from being in your practice, you know what I'm talking about. Being in your practice. That right there, just let it go. Just let it go, okay? Let that thought process go. It don't matter no more. It don't matter.
That don't matter. That don't matter.
Now that we're done with that, I just want you to know that I love you, honey. I'm glad that you are alive, that you breathing, okay? I know that things could have been hard before you got here, but let me tell you something. You are doing your motherfucking thing. You out here thriving in the midst of learning to stop trying to survive, baby, so that you could thrive, baby. And as you're healing, as you're progressing, as you're shifting through timelines, dimensions, frequencies, and energies, as you're leveling up daily, okay? As you washing those feet and getting rid of those pesky people who don't want to do the work and want to tag along, pow, get rid of them and do you all day, every day. Thriving, big, the best version of you. I will see you on the next one. I love you, and I hope you subscribe. And if no one has told you today, you are a powerful motherfucker. Don't let now nigga who don't believe in their own power tell you anything less. I love you. Bye.